Weird things you can do in Final Fantasy. Did you know you can lose the game for having 0 life while having a positive life total? Final Fantasy is here in Magic the Gathering, and with it comes a new set of fun and weird interactions, some of which you'll know, some of which you might not. Let's start with Sagas. Sagas were brought back with a vengeance in Final Fantasy with the addition of creature sagas. It raises the question, what happens when a saga loses the saga type? Let's test this by mutating a Sea-Dasher octopus onto a summon primal Odin with 2 lore counters, so it's just a creature octopus. The first thing to note, the permanent still has its chapter abilities, in this case the second ability from primal Odin. Next, that permanent no longer gets lore counters in the pre-combat main phase. If you somehow manage to get another lore counter onto the permanent, say via Proliferate, that will still trigger the next chapter ability. However, the permanent is not sacrificed when the final chapter ability resolves, and indeed the number of lore counters on that permanent can exceed the final chapter ability number. Another interesting interaction is with Blood Moon and Urza's Saga. If Blood Moon is out and Urza's Saga is played, Urza's Saga still enters with a lore counter, even though it enters as a mountain with no other abilities. A quick one that probably everyone has seen, but Vivi and Quicksilver Elemental are now the best of friends. With both creatures out, activate Quicksilver Elemental's ability and gain all abilities from Vivi. This gives Quicksilver Elemental the ability to generate 3 blue or red mana. With one of the blue mana, activate the ability again and gain the abilities from Vivi again. Because this is a new instance of the ability, we can activate that instance of the ability. It's an infinite mana combo. Next up, losing the game from having 0 life while also being at positive life. This interaction is all due to the Darkness Crystal, which has a replacement effect where if a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, instead exile it and gain 2 life. So if you can somehow architect it such that you take lethal damage from creatures and also deal lethal damage to a creature at the same time, say by blocking one of 2 creatures, we look at the state-based action. 704.3 says that the game checks for any listed conditions, then performs all applicable actions as a single event. So 704.5a will apply as a player is at 0 or less life, causing you to lose the game. However, 704.5g will also apply. A creature has damage marked on it more than its toughness, so the creature is destroyed. The replacement effect from Darkness Crystal replaces this with exiling and gaining 2 life, but it's too late, you've already lost the game. We'll forgive MTG Arena for not handling this edge case visually. Shout out to Arena for getting a lot of the rules right. Wait until the end to see the MTGO bloopers. Back to Sagas for our last interaction, and it's Mirage Mirror and Summon Ixion. In your upkeep, make Mirage Mirror become a copy of Summon Ixion. In your pre-combat main phase, the game will put a counter on Mirage Mirror and trigger Chapter 1, exiling a creature an opponent controls. At end of turn, however, Mirage Mirror stops being a Summon Ixion, meaning that the opponent's creature is exiled forever, or at least until Mirage Mirror is removed some other way. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed this whistle-stop tour through Final Fantasy, and hopefully I'll see you again very soon for Edge of Eternities. My aim for the rest of this year is to make Mondays Max Makes Mondays, releasing some sort of video every Monday. And now, MTGO doing MTGO things. And we're going to choose over. Are you fucking kidding me?